Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back. It's Friday Release Valve, where I quit interviewing authors and warlords and mentats. I quit writing prolonged scripts about classical antiquity and political philosophy and science fiction. And instead, I just blow off steam with funny friends by reading the world's underserved headlines. And I'm going to do that today with two very funny friends. I'm bringing back Matt Donnelly and Paul Mattingly of Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Oh, thanks so much, Andrew.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
You know what? I got to say, I really like the people that listen to your show, and I can spot them on Twitter because they all have ice cream scoops next to their name. You've cultivated a very funny and very nice audience where, like, if somebody tweets me, there's an ice cream scoop, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. They're like, no, they're not going to give me a death threat. I'm never going to get death threat from anybody with ice cream scoops in their name.
100%. We really do have an amazing community of listeners. And I think it's because we just let them know how much of a wuss we were right at the top. We just let them know, if you're going to tag us on Twitter, we can't take it. We don't have thick skin. You'll make us angry and you'll make us cry.
No, but we're incredibly spoiled. The kindness of our community insulates us from normal internet activity in a way that it's stunning. When I see normal internet celebrity type interaction, I'm like, yikes.
I totally relate to that. So the main thing I do, the Political Orphanage, the podcast in which this is sandwiched, the audience at their height of angry is like Canadian. Like if you were to read through the hate mail I get, 99% of the hate mail is, "Dear Mr. Heaton, I love your show. You're so funny, but I must draw issue with what you said earlier in the week, and I have provided hyperlinks for you. I hope that you will read it, and I also will suggest these excellent guests that could." And I read this and like, so you're just doing you're doing my work for me. This is fantastic. Thank you. Like, I respectfully disagree, and here's content to make the show smarter. I'm like, this is fantastic. This is not. I don't think this is standard political discourse with people. It's usually just like bags of flaming dog poop and things like that. So yeah, props to our audiences. That's great. Well, let's kick it off with some funny headlines. First headline: restaurants' Labor-Inducing burger is attracting an influx of pregnant women. This is from the owners of a restaurant in Minnesota who claim they've been seeing an influx of pregnant ladies ever since news of their alleged Labor-Inducing burger started making headlines across the state. It is the Suburban in Excelsior, Minnesota, and kind of reading through the story, I think one of their wives or one of their friends came by pretty heavily pregnant and ate this burger and immediately popped off like a champagne cork and had to be whisked to the hospital to shoot that baby out. And they went, oh, okay, it's a labor inducer. And now women from across the state are driving there. So there's so much of the story that
if her water broke in the restaurant, then the people flocking to this restaurant are not having their second child. I'll tell you that much right now. Because anyone who's been around water breaking, you would not want to return to that scene to eat.
Are we sure this isn't the Plan B burger?
And burger. Oh God.
There's so much of this. So
there's
Matt,
different kinds of labor induction.
Well, like Matt, you have kids, don't you? Didn't you reproduce at some point? Okay, so like I haven't reproduced. Do you like? I just always assumed they came out on their own, but you have to like lure the children out of the womb with food. Like that's
so.
Like,
I guess
bring them to the hospital and you just kind of like lay corn dogs and like a stretch outside of the stretched legs.
It
the,
is.
The kids
I know it
claw
sounds
their way
cartoonish,
out.
but literally a carrot on a stick. A carrot on a stick will work. Kids love carrots. No, I will say that like the first trimester you get sick. And then various amounts of sickness, but you get sick a lot. And then all of a sudden, the kind of the glory of pregnancy is basically that second trimester. That 4th through 6th month is like you have a bump. People approach you in public places and go, "Oh my gosh, look at that!" You start to feel little growings on inside. You have the glow. Then it gets to really uncomfortable. They basically say that the baby comes out because otherwise you'll die. Like they suspect that the trigger is like, it's birth time, because if this keeps living inside you, you're going to die.
Okay.
But it gets very uncomfortable. And those little bumps of a baby growing become like full on kicks to your ribs and all kinds of stuff.
So you're saying that genetically and evolutionarily, birth only happens because we've reached the equilibrium point where the mother
host
is going,
Yeah.
So we need to figure out a way to keep babies in longer.
I mean,
Because they could get awesome, right?
That's it.
Yeah, they come out smarter.
Not
They've got
awesome
like a little
enough. Right, I think that's
goatee.
really-
Exactly. Exactly. Just pumping the baby Einstein for 5 or 6 years.
And my wife was very uncomfortable on our first, and we did something like this. We heard that spicy food can sometimes induce labor. We did everything that was like totally unscientific, but I did everything with Murphy's Law. We made a ton of plans. I made like a bunch of lunch and dinner plans to be
So
like.
instead of luring the baby out with a carrot and stick, you were literally trying to tempt fate by like,
We did.
oh man, hey, like talk to the room. I just got this scholarship to a great school. Fantastic. Just to see like if you could make things happen. Yeah.
We went out for super spicy Thai food. And then we did the thing where we walk on, the sidewalk where you walk up and down.
Basically, cobblestone?
Like your feet are on different plateaus. So you walk on.
Oh, one's on one foot on the
left
curb?
foot's on the sidewalk and your right foot's on the
Yeah.
street. And then you switch sides, stuff like that. And just basically to like do anything to communicate, time to go,
Get
buddy.
out.
Time to go. And my wife went to labor that night.
Okay.
Thai food and sidewalk walking?
Thai food and sidewalk walking.
Okay,
and
yeah.
With,
See,
with
like,
movie plans and dinner plans. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like, and again, I have no frame of reference, but if you're ever backed up and you like eat something that just really causes gas, I was like, maybe that's what happened. Maybe the burger's particularly gassy and it just like, creates like a medical term. It creates carbonation, womb carbonation. And you want to have a lot of womb carbonation and then like have them kind of jiggle and then it'll pop them out.
I can't speak to the science. I can speak to the advertising that if word gets out that this works to speed up the labor process, the last trimester is so uncomfortable that people will come flocking to whatever's happening.
Okay, great. So we've got a new business model.
Come eat a burger.
Oh, exactly. Like, me a burger. I guess I have to do it for science.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, plus on top of that too, it's like if you're, I assume by the third trimester that you're not really worried about like weight. You're just trying to give whatever nutrients the fetus might potentially want. And so you're like, yeah, if we want to, and so if they're like, hey, come eat this burger, either you pop a kid out or you have a delicious burger that you probably wouldn't otherwise eat. Then it's like, oh, great. Yeah, let's do that.
Yep. It's a win-win.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Hats off to whatever the name of that restaurant was for coming up with a brilliant
Plan B burger.
Plan B burger. Yeah. So Plan B burger, real quick, Paul, would be very different. Plan B burger would be like. Actually, you know what you call the Plan B over hangover meal, where like both parties just show up and like the guy's like, oh my god, I can't believe. It's my ex, and I know she's crazy. And meanwhile, she's just wolfing down burgers, wolfing them down.
Like wherever the Happy Days diner was, that's the place to have a Plan B burger. Yeah, Al's next to the high school around prom time.
Well, we'll have them across the street from one another. We'll have them across the street from one another, and you can just make your own decision. And then they'll be like an unrelated taco
pills
shop.
in the patty.
I don't know how many people out there know Jersey, but if there's a place to open up a Plan B burger, it's Wildwood, New Jersey.
It's the patty with the pills.
Where all the prom kids go after.
Well, over in Texas boy wins first place in National Mullet Championship. Shout out to Jackson Crossland, who is good at a lot of things, including boxing, fishing, and riding his dirt bike. But this 8-year-old also rocks a serious mullet. I think I sent you guys a photo. And you know what? Like, I'm going to say not only congratulations to Jackson Crossland for winning the contest that I did not know existed, which a couple of stats on you, has over 20,000 votes on social media, 50,000 reactions, and I think gave him $500. So it actually is like something of a contest that at least has $500 worth of money in it.
For $500 in 2020, this is going to be a much more competitive competition next year. I'll tell you that much right now.
Plus, like right now is the time if you want to experiment with weird facial hair. Like I got a haircut about a month ago, but I had like 1970s like Eric Idle hippie hair for about a month and could not pull it off, but had it anyway. And like now I'm like I'm not going to date or see a woman for another 6 months. I might as well grow mutton chops or something, or have like a cool like Tsar Nicholas thing going. Like now, if you're gonna go crazy with your facial hair or your hair, do it now. No one will ever care.
That being said, put in the internet research. He earned it. He won. I don't think I could get my kid or myself to compete with him by next year. That's a serious. That I would agree that is an award-winning mullet I'm looking at.
The back of his head is a Pantene commercial.
It looks like, I mean, straight up locks and curls.
There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
That is like, you want the Clairol look? Come get it.
Well, that's the promise of the mullet, right? It's a party in the back, lawyer in the front.
Oh, yeah.
You can just like go into a courtroom and they're like,
Kentucky waterfall I have ever seen. Is outstanding.
I want to go back to burgers. Wait time at In-N-Out Burgers grand opening in Aurora, Colorado hits staggering.
Oh my God.
14 hours. 14 hours. People are lined up for blocks, but miles to go to an In-N-Out Burger in Aurora, Colorado.
Shows you how many people have never eaten In-N-Out Burger.
My figures, they just must have a lot of pregnant ladies in Aurora, Colorado. That must be like the capital of women that are about to pop. Otherwise there's not a lot to do.
They never sell a Plan B burger. They're run by a bunch of Jesus freaks that put scripture quotes on their cups and shit. That would never fly with In-N-Out.
I'm guessing that basically just want to practice the 14-hour activity, right? So if I can wait for a burger, I can deliver a baby.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you do? No, who's gonna swamp ass their car for 14 hours for a crappy burger? They're not good. Here's the thing: In-N-Out burgers are okay.
Right.
Their fries are, you throw those in the garbage.
They should be used as packing material.
And you go to McDonald's. Yeah. If you get In-N-Out, you get your fries somewhere else.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And if you like shakes without flavor, In-N-Out's your spot.
I think lemonade.
Paul, it doesn't sound like you're even giving it the okay rating. Like, I think you're giving it the edible rating.
I don't like In-N-Out.
Yeah.
I don't like In-N-Out, and I eat me some fast food.
Well, okay,
not like it.
What's your go-to? Because I'm an Arby's man. I think Arby's is fantastic. I will drive 30, when I'm on a road trip, I will drive 30 minutes out of the way to go to an Arby's.
Now we've got it figured out.
Wait, what'd you say?
Old horsey sauce Heaton. At it again.
No. Yeah, exactly.
I like to put on airs, but I'm a Jack in the Box guy.
Okay.
There's
all right.
It's my default.
You know, I think this is like light beer. Like I will make fun of people for Bud Light. I'm like, that's horrible. You're drinking tasteless swill. Meanwhile, I will be drinking Coors. And we all have our own designated, that good beer. That's like that I've committed. That's where my palate's going to go. I'm not going to drink Milwaukee's Best. That's awful, but I will drink Coors.
What's your Arby's order?
I either get brisket. I get brisket, but I don't get it with bacon or pork because I don't want to go super into this, but pigs are as smart as dogs, so I try not to eat them because I feel bad. But cows are slightly dumber than dogs, so I'm willing to eat them until I watch a documentary on cow slaughter, and then I'll probably become a vegetarian. So at the moment, I get either a brisket burger or I get
it's
the
not
beef
even
and
morality. It's just snobbery. You're like, whether you respect intelligence only, and otherwise you will assert your apex predator status as needed. That's what's happening here.
If Arby's started advertising, like, just so you know, at Arby's, all of our pork comes from the dumbest pigs we can find. Only the stupid pigs are here. I'd be like, pigs taste pretty good. Maybe I'll eat that pig. Only pigs with head trauma. Yeah, I'd eat them. But I go for the beef and cheddar belt, and I go for the brisket burger. I used to love the curly fries, but I feel like you can't eat them in the car. Curly fries have to be eaten warm, and you have to get one of those lids and pour in half ketchup and half Arby's sauce and use that as a dipping tray. But if you try and eat it while you're driving, it fossilizes very quickly. It's not good. You've got to treat yourself.
I'm the never eats in his car guy.
Yeah.
So even though I go through drive-thrus, I
don't understand how you've gone through the pandemic not being able to eat in your car.
I have eaten out far less during the pandemic than I usually do.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I just never get in my car. I never go anywhere.
Yeah.
I sit at home.
I think that makes a lot of sense because if you if you are just intentionally eating, right? Like you're like I every once in a while I'll enjoy like a double quarter pounder or something like that. Like I don't I eat fast food, right? But I would enjoy it more, and I would probably eat healthier if instead of just wolfing it down, while driving and jeopardizing the lives of everyone around me as I eat a full meal in my lap. If I just actually like took it home and ate it, I would go like, this is quite tasty. What a good decision I made, right? And I would get more enjoyment out of it, and I wouldn't get like 2 of them because I'd be thinking about it rather than like I think with eating, like your body doesn't tell you it's full until about 15 minutes after you eat. Like the signal comes in late. Yeah.
I've never found out.
I'm eating slightly healthier because, as I was telling you guys off camera, and the audience already knows this, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I bought a 13-foot fiberglass camper, and it's hard for me to justify getting fast food when I am towing a kitchen behind me. So I have, and I'll tell you, the other thing I figured out is that like I never understood why breakfast is so important. It's not because it gives you energy. It's because it stops you from craving bad stuff later. Like if I make myself a healthy breakfast, I don't want to eat filth come 1 p.m. If I don't eat breakfast, then 1 p.m. I'm like, I'll go eat a double quarter pounder. Doesn't even matter that I've got a kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a fridge? Do you tow a fridge?
Okay, so I do have a fridge and I have an air conditioner, but they only rely on shore power. I could probably run them off, which is to say from an extension cord to somebody's house or to an RV park or something.
Gotcha.
But they don't operate off grid, or if they do, it would really run the battery down very, very quickly. So I have the refrigerator, but I use the refrigerator basically as an armored pantry. It is a pantry. No raccoons are getting into that pantry. Because it is a heavy door. And so I keep canned goods and things in there, noodles, things like that. But what I do is I've got a cooler that under normal circumstances I keep in my car so that it's insulated. And I put in 2 or 3 bags of ice, and then I put in trays on top of that so that the water doesn't get into the food. And I find that lasts me for about a week at a time. The ice runs about $7 a week. And thus I'm able to keep fresh vegetables and salads and things like that, that I'm able to eat. And it seems to work pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I think by my count, I could have exactly 1 person over for dinner. There's room for exactly me and 1 other person if I ever wanted to do it. But I bought a tablecloth for when that blessed day happens so that I can really Lady and the Tramp this out with the tiny TV tray that I'm currently broadcasting on. No, I'm working on it. I'm getting better at this.
Yeah, make sure you Arby's it up when she comes over.
Make sure you talk all about a pig's intelligence.
Which does
really help close the deal.
And then on top of that, just bring up ventilation. Just like before you start eating this, just so you know, we've got 3 windows we can crack. So just ham it up. Eat whatever you want. Eat that dead pig, and we will be just fine. And I got that carbon monoxide detector in case it's really noxious. This is a sealed deal. Absolutely.
High living.
Yep. I'm going to kick it to the moon. NASA wants to put a nuclear power plant on the moon. NASA and the U.S. Department of Energy will seek proposals from industry to build nuclear power plants on the moon and Mars to support its long-term exploratory plans. The goal is to have a flight system, lander, and reactor ready to launch by 2026. All right. I am against this.
What could go wrong?
So hard. Here's why I'm against this. 1, moon monsters. If you've ever seen a Godzilla film, when there's any type of radioactive meltdown, it creates monsters. So great. Like the one thing to make the moon less hospitable, moon monsters. Second, we should be importing good American coal from the Rust Belt to the moon to help out those people in Appalachia. If we're going to have a moon base, we should be sending up just trains and trains and trains of coal to help them out. So this is bad economics and it's bad science.
Well, China's got quite the investment in the moon right now.
Yeah, aren't they? They're sending. They're going to go get some moon rocks or something. They're sending other people up there.
Well, they were the first to land a rover on the dark side.
Okay.
And their goal, as I understand it, is they are trying to open a restaurant. They want to have the first restaurant on the moon. And it doesn't matter how good or bad this restaurant is. The atmosphere sucks. There's just no atmosphere.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring it back to either Arby's or pregnant women, but you made a pun.
But here's the other thing.
Wasted your time.
About your build. If they do want to construct,
Listen, when you run the top of this episode, and you talk about talking to funny people instead. Can you just bleep out that? Can you bleep the funny part out?
I talk to people.
Whether it be a restaurant or a nuclear reactor, any construction on the moon is deeply frowned upon by most lunar experts, and especially a Chinese restaurant. They have said over and over again, any construction on the moon could damage its luminosity. And if they do go through with that Chinese restaurant construction, it could dim some.
Oh, God.
The worst. I mean,
for a second, then I was like,
it's
okay,
like someone taping
bring in
your
the
eyes
werewolf
open for your own
joke.
plane
No,
crash.
another pun. All right. There are a lot of people that listen to the podcast and watch the show who like puns. I congratulate
Well,
Paul and
bone at
all of
the
you.
fucking teat.
I would like my name taken off of the credits of this episode.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Tell you what, can you guys stick around for one more? We'll do a bonus headline for the Patreon crowd.
Yeah, just to finish pounding my head into this table.
Yeah. No, before we do that, before I give Paul even more opportunity for puns, I keep forgetting to do this, but I want to keep a running total. I'm going to start giving all of the guests a vote. You can give one vote each to one of the places that was discussed in today's program. Could be New Jersey, because you mentioned that. Could be in the headline. At the end of next year, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but whoever the winner is, I'm either going to try and get them an electoral vote, like an additional electoral vote, or maybe I'll fly there and do a live show out of there. So of the locations we've talked about, could be anywhere. Where do you guys want to give your votes to?
The moon.
Nice.
Moon votes.
Moon votes.
You know what? Okay, peer pressure. I'm going to give a moon vote as well. 3 votes to the moon.
We want to see you on the moon.
Yeah, the moon is currently the game winner, I think, followed by Australia and Turkmenistan. So, I really hope that Australia bumps it up, because that's going to be cheaper airfare than the moon. So we'll call it quits there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great time. Have a great weekend.
Wait, our last joke's the dim sum joke? Oh, God.
Oh, God, yeah. There was a little bit of, frequent flyer humor. Oh, God, you're right. Jesus, we had a pun followed by frequent flyer humor. But at least for the Patreon crowd, if they'll stick around, we're going to give Paul an opportunity to redeem himself. And if not, Matt's got an emergency copy of John's bathroom reader that he can pull out, and we can flip to page 52 for a stalwart and see if we won't work.
Gold.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody else, and